Torrie Lewis did not break the world record, but what she did in Glasgow still changed sprint history. The 21-year-old Australian powered across the line in 10.99 seconds. She became the first Australian woman ever to legally break 11 seconds. And this was not the first time she had stunned a sprint star like Sha'Carri Richardson. Lewis entered the 2026 Commonwealth Games final carrying a goal that no Australian woman had ever reached. She wanted to see a time beginning with 10, not 11.04, not 11.01. She wanted 10.99. That may sound like a tiny difference. In the 100 meters, 5/100ths of a second can separate a national star from a historic name. 1 week before the Commonwealth Games, Lewis had already sent a warning. At a meeting in Banská Bystrica, Slovakia, she ran 11.04 seconds with a legal wind of plus 1.8 meters per second. That lowered her own Australian record of 11.08. Even more impressive, she defeated five-time Olympic champion Elaine Thompson-Herah, who finished in 11.06. Lewis was now only 5/100ths away from the barrier she had been chasing. But getting close to 11 seconds and breaking it are not the same thing. Many athletes spend years trapped just above a major barrier. They run 11.05, 11.03, or 11.01, but the clock refuses to show that first 10. Lewis had one more chance to break through on one of the biggest stages of her career. The problem was that the weather in Glasgow looked terrible for sprinting. The athletes had to stay focused while the conditions became worse. One small mistake in the first steps can destroy the whole race. But Lewis had not come to Glasgow just to protect her record. She had come to attack it. Lewis knew she would need the best race of her life just to reach the podium. But Lewis stayed in the fight. Her first job was to remain controlled through the opening steps. Then, she had to rise without losing speed, keep her body relaxed, and drive all the way through the finish. The three leaders reached the line almost together. First Australian woman under 11 seconds. Lewis had finally broken the barrier. That is why this result was bigger than a normal personal best. Australia has produced great female sprinters, but no Australian woman had ever recorded a legal sub-11 second performance. Lewis was the first. Before her run, the Australian record stood at 11.04. After the final, it stood at 10.99. She had removed 5/100ths from the record in only 7 days. That means Lewis entered Commonwealth Games week as the fastest Australian woman ever, then left it as the first Australian woman to enter one of sprinting's most respected clubs. It also raises a much bigger question. What can Lewis run on a warm, dry track with a clean start and perfect conditions? That answer may be even more important than the bronze medal. Lewis had been breaking age records and winning titles since her early teenage years, but her path was not smooth. In 2022, an injury forced her to withdraw from the World Under-20 Championships. For a young athlete, losing a major championship can stop progress. It can damage confidence and take away months of work. Lewis returned the next year with a clear answer. At only 18 years old, she won both the Open 100-meter and 200-meter titles at the Australian Championships. She became the youngest athlete ever to complete that senior sprint double. She also made her senior Australian debut at the 2023 World Championships. Then came January 2024. Lewis ran 11.10 seconds in Canberra and broke the Australian women's 100-meter record. The old record had survived for 10 years. Lewis was still only 19, but the race that pushed her name around the world came 3 months later. And this is where the Sha'Carri Richardson connection becomes important. At the 2024 Xiamen Diamond League, Lewis entered the women's 200 meters from lane 9. Lane 9 can be difficult because the runner begins on the outside and cannot see most of the field during the bend. Lewis was also facing Richardson, who was the reigning world 100-meter champion and the world bronze medalist in the 200 meters. Richardson was one of the biggest names in the sport. Lewis was the young Australian almost nobody expected to win. Around the bend, Richardson was fighting through the middle lanes while Lewis attacked from the outside. Lewis stayed strong through the final straight and crossed the line in 22.96 seconds. Richardson finished second in 22.99. The difference was 3/100ths of a second. Lewis later admitted that she did not realize she had won until she watched the replay. That was the first major sign that she was not afraid of famous names. She did not beat Richardson because Richardson fell, stopped, or was removed from the race. Lewis beat her at the finish line. That victory is why Richardson's name still appears in stories about Lewis. It would be wrong to claim Richardson publicly reacted to Lewis's 10.99 in Glasgow unless a verified reaction appears. But it is completely accurate to say Lewis has already defeated Richardson in a Diamond League race. That result gave Lewis proof that she could compete at the top level. Still, one surprise win does not build a career. Lewis needed to keep improving. Later in 2024, she earned a silver medal in the 200 meters at the World Under-20 Championships in Lima. In 2025, she lowered her 200-meter best to 22.56 seconds at the World Championships in Tokyo. She was becoming stronger in both sprints. The 200 meters helped build her speed endurance. The 100 meters sharpened her start and early power. That combination began to show in 2026. Each record moved her closer to a level Australia had never reached. And Lewis is only 21 years old. She was born on January 8, 2005, which means she may still have several years before reaching her physical peak. That does not guarantee she will become a world champion. Women's sprinting is filled with athletes who can run far faster than 10.99. The world record remains 10.49, set by Florence Griffith Joyner in 1988. Lewis is not destroying world records. Not yet. But she is destroying the limits once placed on Australian women's sprinting. That is the real story behind the title. Before Lewis, an Australian woman running below 11 seconds was only a target. After Glasgow, it became a fact. Now every young Australian sprinter knows the barrier can be broken. Lewis also showed something that matters in championship racing. She can perform when the race is messy. Fast times at small meetings are valuable, but major championships bring different pressure. Lewis still produced the fastest 100 meters of her life. That is a strong sign because medals are not always won in perfect weather. Champions must adjust. Lewis adjusted. She did not win gold, but bronze should not hide the size of the performance. Was 10.99 the race Lewis spent years building toward, or was it only the first look at what she can really do? Her record came only 7 days after she ran 11.4. That rapid improvement suggests the form was already there. Each achievement answers a different question. Can she run fast? Yes. Can she perform on a major stage? Yes. Can she beat a global superstar? Lewis has moved from young national talent to a real international threat. The world's top sprinters will not fear one 10.99 race by itself. Torrie Lewis did not destroy a world record in Glasgow. She destroyed a national barrier that had never been broken. Lewis has given the sprint world another reason to watch her, because the next time the track is dry, the clock may fall even further.